I did a video a few weeks ago about the field mouse problem I'm having here. I live in the old summer cabin in the mountains of Northern California. Lots of open space, lots of trees, lots of everything. And with the cold weather and the rain, mice found a way to get in. It's been very frustrating because I do not like it at all. And I've been kind of at my wit's end trying to figure out what to do. I've done some caulking and had some work done around the house to close up openings, but they found new openings. As I said, this is a very old house. It was a summer cabin at one point. It was kind of put together on an as-needed basis, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done here yet. I've had traps up, and those worked for a while. Then the mice got too smart and would take the treats off the trap and nothing would happen. I had to move this up to the next level. I was going to call a pest control service like Terminex to put bait boxes around the house, but I decided to do it myself. I got some Decon from Home Depot and some Tomcat from Walmart. They come in these little encased boxes. The ones from Walmart are one-time use. The ones from Decon are multiple use. And you put the bait in, you close it, and no other animals can get in like a dog or a cat. It has really stopped the situation. I'm not a big poison fan or a toxic chemicals fan, but I could not have mice running through my house. Absolutely unacceptable on every level. But I still need to get control of the situation because there's still areas they can get into. So I've been doing some exploring and doing some work. So today I'm going to be clearing out the closet. It's an area with a lot of openings and opportunities for mice. And the handyman's coming over later and we're going to work on this together. There are only two closets in this house. There's a small closed closet in the big bedroom and this closet here in the second bedroom off the kitchen. This actually used to be the pantry, and the second bedroom was the dining room, but they converted it into a bedroom. Right now it's a horrible mess because when the handyman came over, we started pulling things out so he could find any mouse holes and any openings. And we found quite a bit, especially in the closet. So that's where we're going to be putting our energies today. I posted a picture a few days ago on my community page of my caulking some openings. I purchased a caulk gun at Home Depot and he showed me how to use it and he brought me some appropriate caulking. When he came by yesterday, I showed him my work and he was a little impressed. Unfortunately, this backfired on me because now he wants me to help him do it because he says I have potential. So first I'm going to clear this room out and at least the area between the door and the closet so we can get in, and start doing what needs to be done to get this closet whip it into shape and also make it mouse proof. Well, here's the closet right now after everything's been moved out of it. I can move this physically, but it's very unwieldy, so I'm going to have to wait for the handyman to come to pull this out so it doesn't fall apart. I am going to need to come in and bring the shop back and do a lot of vacuuming down here. And as you can see, there are spaces and places where things can get in, and all of that needs to be resolved. Up here is open. At one point, somebody just put a piece of sheetrock there, and I'm sure that's an entry point too at times. I have two houses here, this house and a small cabin. And when I bought them, I'd been looking for 5 years. And I walked onto this land and I knew I belonged here. They were very, very inexpensive, and I got the price down even lower due to the many problems I knew I'd face and I'm facing now. So here we are, doing it one room at a time, one problem at a time. I'm learning a lot, and I remain very grateful that I moved here. It's been an amazing experience and continues to be so. So next time I see you, handyman will have arrived and we'll take it from there. Well, it's been about 10 days since I filmed the last part of that video. A lot has happened, not all of it good, but I think we're getting there. One of those issues is the electric. So the electricity in here was put in the 1940s, and there it has stayed. So the handyman was not certain why he was getting a reading of electricity in this light fixture in the little closet, which has never worked. He was getting that reading, but the light bulb wouldn't work. There are several different switches controlling that room. Again, I don't know why it is that way, but I think they just added switches as they needed them without thinking about whatever else they needed to think about. So we were turning switches on and off and trying to figure it out. So at one point, in the process of trying to figure it out, the light fixture actually exploded. I can only laugh because I was there, and the handyman's like 280 pounds, and I don't think a team of oxen could knock him over. If I'd been the one doing that, I'd be dead. But he was fine. And I guess the wire was live, but it wasn't hooked in, and he went into the attic. The opening in the attic is about this big. Somehow he got in there far enough to see what was going on and pulled it out. And now he's rewiring that particular light fixture and adding a switch in the closet so I can manage it from the closet. And there's one switch on the wall that takes care of the light on the top, and the switch in the hallway, which also controlled the bedroom for some reason. He's just put a flat piece there right now. I do have an idea of what I want to do here insofar as the electric. Doing this was kind of an emergency thing, but I do have a plan. The rooms just have one or two outlets in them, and it's very difficult to run life as we know it today with so few outlets. So I do have a plan for that, but this was an emergency situation, so we had to get it done. Did not want any more explosions. So that work took us on a little detour, but then we're kind of back on track. He's still working on that. But I said, listen, the electrical, yes, I understand it needs to be done, but my house is like a nightmare right now. I have stuff everywhere, and as a result of moving stuff out, I realized I don't want to move everything back in, so I'm also doing some spring cleaning. I ordered some of those hefty bags, the vacuum seal ones, so I'm going to be doing that, and lowering the volume of the items I have. I have a lot of blankets. I have a really nice mattress pad, which takes up an entire tub. All of this takes room in a house that does not have a lot of storage space. So those are coming tomorrow, and I hope to start consolidating my blankets and sheets and stuff I don't use on a regular basis to a more manageable size. So that, of course, has added to the confusion and uproar, but we'll get through it. He mudded everything and fixed things and patched things and wanted to have a smooth palette for painting, which was kind of the last step. So he's had an assistant coming in and out to help him because basically I was going to help him, but I'm good for cleaning stuff and for shop vac, but some of the stuff, like there were carpet strips that needed to be taken up and all, I'm just not physically strong enough for it. So he hired somebody to help him out. So he gave her instructions how to sand in there, and I don't even know where to begin with this. The instructions were not followed, and there is dust all over my house. I have to wash every single curtain in the house, all my bedding, all my pillows. I even cleaned the dust off, and there's still dust settling. My kitchen, I have open shelving because I don't have very many cabinets. Everything had to be washed, and I don't have a dishwasher. It has been incredible. And I have to take all this stuff to the laundromat because I don't want that sanding stuff to get into my septic tank or into my washing machine. So there's going to be several heavy trips to the laundromat in my near future as soon as it's done. I really tried to separate the criminal from the crime, and she did the best she could. She's a very hard worker, but it's taken me a couple days to kind of catch a breath from this, mainly because of the enormous amount of unnecessary work it has created. Luckily, the door to my bedroom was closed. That was the only room that was really not affected the kitchen and the living room, and of course the room that she was working in. I'll tell you something. When I am mad, really mad, I will verbalize it. I don't necessarily yell, but I will definitely verbalize it with a list of sins committed. Okay, I will state it. But when I'm really mad, I don't say a word. I can't. I can't start with that. I just don't talk, and I don't accept any help, and I just disappear. And sometimes I think that is worse for the recipient. But it's the only way I can control my emotions. And I think once you lose the ability to control your emotions, especially anger, you definitely lose your strategic advantage in life and in everything else. So I have to know when to stop and when to walk away. And that's been one of the greatest lessons of my senior years. So this was supposed to be done by now. It's not done by now. Nothing is ever done on time, but I think we're getting there. We're definitely getting where the area has been painted. He needs to cut one more piece for the plywood. Then he got me some floating floor stuff that he happened to have around. I'm not putting anything special in there, just something. And it's totally mouse proof at this point. And the room, being that it's been upgraded and is dry, it was already drywalled but patched, and it is in much better shape than it was before. And I told him it's probably the nicest room in my house at this point. Well, it's been several weeks since that last video, and the closet is done. Let's see what happened. I had mentioned that we had a little electrical blowout. Well, the electricity was not hooked up again because the whole system in the house is so antiquated. The handyman was really afraid to rewire this and tie it in. I do have plans to rewire the house at some point, so that will be done. So because of this, I do not have any light in the closet. Well, I never did, but fortunately there's a window. Because it's all tied in together, the electrical in the closet and the electrical in the room are no longer functioning at that point. There's also a light up here and a fan. This plug still works, and so I have a light here. But now that it's summer, I'm not using this room so much. I did some closet changes to rearrange. I moved this dresser that was in the bedroom into the closet, and I put some shelving, which I'm happy with. I have all of my tablescape stuff and my fabric and my yarn, and some extra towels and some extra pillowcases for the bed. I also have some sewing items and some paperwork. I love these little, I guess, containers. They're from Costco. And I just got a bunch of them. It was $20 for 4, and they are great. They're real little, so they fit in here. And I also like the fact that because they are little, I can't put a lot in them. So instead of tearing up a huge box looking for something every time I want to look for something, I just can open up a small one. If you remember this room from earlier videos, I actually had that brown dresser right there by the light, but I moved it into the closet. This bed that I was using over the winter is actually just a camp bed. So it's not the most comfortable, but it was really great in the winter because this room is so nice and warm. Basically, I think at some point I'm just going to fold it up and leave the room pretty empty. I have this blow-up bed. I'm not sure if it's a full or a queen, but I thought if I leave the room fairly empty and I need to sleep in here, or I have guests, there'll be room to just blow the mattress up. So I'm real happy with the changes that the new closet brought to me. In spite of all the shelving, I still don't have room for everything. I did get some shrink bags for my extra blankets, and the shrink bags, quite a few of them failed me, so I still have blankets out here. I have a lot of blankets, but it's really cold here in the winter, and I just can't get rid of them. I'm also putting a guest house in the little cabin across the street from me, and I will need extra blankets in there too. In addition to getting the closet finished and all those holes filled up, there was some holes and some problems with the baseboard, so he got that caulked also. I'm going to have continual issues with rodents out here. It simply comes with the territory. I live in the woods, very rural, and they're part of the ecosystem here, whether I like it or not. Keeping a strong perimeter and closing up holes and trying to keep the entry points as minimal as possible I'm sure will help mitigate this. So thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been quite a journey, and I'm sure there will be more. Thank you so much for watching.